everyone. So it's Karen here. I just wanted to kind of kick our first week of writing off with a video that's really intended just for the parents on how to teach writing. So let's give it a shot, and then pretty much everything else should be dedicated to your kids. But let's just take a quick look. Yeah, I'm not that mean. Hopefully, you didn't think I was. So I have gotten 2 or 3 emails and calls at this point with people who are a bit concerned, to say the least. That would be a generous word, uh, about feeling like they have the pressure to become the teacher. And right now, I feel like I need to reassure you that you're not expected to be. And we know that you are not teachers. We're the teachers, and as a teacher, I am here to help you and to help guide you through this process. I know that you are scratching your heads and you are concerned, but I have some quick secrets that I have to tell you as a teacher to you. So take a look. Rule number 1 of teaching that I learned back in grad school is this, and you are going to be absolutely shocked. That's it. Do no harm. Now, you are these kids' parents and you love them more than anybody. And so I am absolutely confident that you will do no harm. You're not going to undo their ability to write. You're not going to make them hate writing for the rest of their lives. You love them too much for that. You will do no harm. You're not capable of that. So don't worry. Rule number 2, remember our goals. We talked back on Tuesday of last week about what our priorities are. And I just want to go back over them with you. Social emotional learning is huge here. We care about your children's well-being and making sure that they interact. That's why we're doing letter writing. I want to teach your children that they can communicate with each other through writing. There will be pen pals. There will be opportunities to talk to each other. That's why we're doing that. Now, if that doesn't work for you, there's flexibility there. Don't worry. Number 2, structure to your child's day. Having writing every day is something your child is used to, whatever kind of writing it is. It'll help. Making sure they have that activity in place, that structure. Your support. I'm here. If writing is not going well at home between you and your child, just call. And that academic content and sense of purpose. I am going to create opportunities through videos and office hours that will push your child harder and that will give them opportunities for growth academically. This is something kids love, and they not only find entertaining, they find rewarding. Let me do that though, and let me do my job on it. If it's not working for you, say the word and we'll adjust. Use the office hours. Still here. So I have in class for writing a process over product approach, and that is called the writing process. And I just want to explain a little bit about what your kids are used to. They start out in class by finding an idea, that's that pink post-it up at the top. They plan it, they write, which is the same as drafting a piece of writing. They revise it, making it better by either adding to it or taking work out. They edit it, and then they go ahead and they write another piece. And they do this over and over and over again, practicing until they've written, in our instance for this unit, plenty of letters. Finally, they choose one, just one, and they publish that. They revise it again, they edit it again, they copy their words, they work on their cover and dedication if that's the type of project that they're doing, and they draw in color. Now, because we're doing e-learning, I've had to make adjustments to this process. We're going to focus as a class on that writing, that drafting portion, revising, and editing. I'm going to explain to you what's going to happen with the find an idea, plan, and publish portions of the writing process shortly, as well as what your role is and how I can help. So this is an example of a draft. Again, your children know this phase is being called writing, and that will be more familiar to them. So I would recommend using that term. When they draft, do not correct them. Do not change anything. The whole point here is that they get their ideas on the page because that is hard for a first grader. This part has to be done in pencil, and they just put down the ideas. There will be grammatical mistakes, there will be mistakes with syntax, there will be parts that just don't make sense. That's okay, but they will have their ideas on the page. And again, it's all in pencil, no matter what they try to convince you of. Now this part's a little different. This is revision, where the kids make their work better by either adding or taking out. So here, if I take a look at the third and fourth sentence, my draft said, I spent mine hiking, doing yoga, and building a website with you. Then I revised. That was so much fun. I never thought we'd finish in time. That work in the black pen, that's where I made my letter better. Your kid should use some sort of a black pen or a colored pencil to do that. Fun writing tools help. It also motivates them because they can see where they've improved their work, and so can you and I. The last phase your children will be required to do is the editing phase, which is, of course, checking for grammar with their checklist. You've seen that at this point. Here they use a colorful pen in class. At home, you can use a colorful colored pencil, just not yellow or a color you can't see. The kids know that. Sometimes they need reminders. They can be a little tricky on this one. Checking for capitalization was the one problem that was done in this sample piece. But you would go through the checklist and there will be lessons on that. There will also be lessons on revision. Always. Always, always. So why aren't we talking about finding ideas, planning, and publishing? I came to the conclusion that these 3 steps don't translate as well into e-learning as I would hope. I am hoping that that will change as I become more familiar with e-learning, though. Finding ideas, I've decided to substitute by providing the ideas. So for example, there's going to be a lesson all about writing to the tooth fairy. Your children will be required to write a letter to the tooth fairy. Or there will be a letter all about, there will be a book about writing to fairy tale characters, and your children will have to write to a character from a book. Those will be the ideas. In class, your children had more flexibility. This time around, I'm providing the inspiration. I am hoping that this will work in their favor, but if it doesn't, use my office hours and we will find ideas together. Planning. I am also hoping that this has been internalized at this point and that your children will be able to have ideas and run with them. If for whatever reason your child is choosing not to write or struggling, having writer's block, that's a sign that they're having a hard time with planning on their own or possibly even finding ideas for how to start. Give me a call again. I'll get them going. And publishing. This one's actually quite interesting. Uh, there are no studies that for children at this age, publishing helps to improve their writing skills. And what I find is that it really takes a lot of time for um, something that really, while it looks beautiful, is not academically as purposeful. And so I have chosen to forego this step. You can choose to do it at home. I would recommend that you only pick occasional pieces if you do this. Publishing, again, means that you are copying over the letter or piece of writing and coloring it in. Of course, coloring the kids love to do, so they can always do the art on the borders of their pieces of writing. But copying is really not the best use of time, and they don't enjoy it. They have handwriting practice to do that with. Warning: do not attempt to complete the writing process in one day. This inevitably leads to cranky children and even crankier adults. Just don't do it. Further, it also means that they don't have enough time to think and to process their work, meaning that they can't do their best work. They need time in between sittings to really be able to see where their mistakes are. And it is in their best interest to leave a day in between revision and drafting, or editing and revision. That way they can see their work with a fresh set of eyes. Some information you should know: drafting a letter can take 1 to 1.5 sittings. That can total out at 15 to 30 minutes or so for a letter. That's an estimate. And it's okay for it to go anywhere in there. It can be a little more, could be a little less. Let me know, because it will be different at home than it is in school. Also, I can't say enough, do not correct them at this time. This is their opportunity to just get their ideas on the page. Revision. These activities will always be accompanied by a video. You may need office hours for further explanation, and that's okay. This is not an easy step in the writing process, but it is a step that will help to provide structure to your child, and it will also give them the sense of feeling rewarded and a sense of purpose in their writing work. Editing can take half to a whole sitting. Use the checklist and do not expect perfection. Progress is what matters. So if your child finds 2 spots where they needed to add punctuation but misses one, that's great. They caught 2, and we should praise that. Last but certainly not least, take a deep breath. Do no harm is rule number 1. You won't. You're not going to undo their skills. You're only going to make them feel good. You love them too much to undo anything. That's all I have to say. And I know that you will have a wonderful time with your children. That's about it. Okay. Have a wonderful rest of the day. Bye-bye.